Hey everybody, it's Wayne back with another video. This past month, I received my first dividend from Southwest Airlines, stock ticker LUV. And it's likely the first dividend you've received with them, seeing how they have not paid a dividend in nearly 3 years. But in this case, it's too little, too late. And this was a stock I should have done some more research before I bought it way back in 2022. So let's go ahead and dive in, starting with the financials. If we take a look here at Southwest Airlines, their 5-year numbers are just abysmal. They're down nearly 40%. Taking a look here at the 1 year, they're also down nearly 16% for the year. Now year to date, it does look like they've seen nearly 11.5% increase. So we're starting to see some forward momentum. But again, I think it's a stock that I am going to part ways with. So if we take a look here at the revenue, guys, this is yet another reason why it's so important to understand how to review the financials. Now, guys, I fully understand that all of the airline industries were greatly affected during the pandemic, but let's go ahead and look back even to 2013 leading up to 2019. Growth has been pretty flat for the most part. From 2020 until today, there has been increasing growth. But I go back to, I think it's too little too late, and this is not a stock that I am going to wait it out with. So although I did receive my first dividend this month for $18, if we look at the dividend summary using Seeking Alpha, there's really not a whole lot to be excited about. Very, very low dividend yield. Payout ratio is 16%. Guys, the 5-year growth, negative 17%. And of course, 0 years of dividend growth. So let's go ahead and take a look at some dividend information on Seeking Alpha. Earlier, I mentioned I received my first dividend from Southwest Airlines in the amount of $18 for the 100 shares that I own. And it looks like that dividend had not been paid since 2020, so during the year of the pandemic, and they paused that dividend for all of 2021, 2022, and it looks like 2023 is when they officially resumed it. Again, looking at the totality of all of the financials, revenue, the dividend growth, the overall growth of the entire company, it's no longer a stock that I want to hold on to. So herein lies the problem, and this is something that I would often do as a newer investor. If I were to experience a loss with a stock, I would cut my losses and sell that stock. I'd like to think that I'm a little bit more mature. So what I'm going to do with Southwest is wait this out. And if you guys see here, currently my average share cost is $45.86, and I am down nearly 21%. So nearly $950 is what I'm in the hole. And if we look at the current share price of $36.36, I got a ways to go before I even break even. But I want to point out this is one of the stocks that I am actively selling covered calls against. And that's the nice thing about selling covered calls is if you are upside down in your position, you at least can generate income until that share price goes back up. So as you guys know, in order to sell covered calls against any position, you must first own 100 shares. So I do have 100 shares of Southwest Airlines. And you guys can see so far in 2023, I've sold a total of 4 contracts, resulting in a total amount of $64. Certainly nothing to write home about. But if we look at 2022, guys, I actually was able to sell covered calls on a regular basis. You guys can see here, the first covered call that I sold was in March of 2022. And throughout the year, I was able to sell covered calls on pretty much a weekly or bi-weekly basis. So I sold a total of 18 contracts in 2022 for a total of $532. So if we take the $532 I made last year, the $64 I've made so far this year, that's a total, guys, of $596. So if we now factor in how much I've made selling covered calls, which is a total of $596, let's go ahead and see how soon I would be able to sell all of my Southwest shares and break even. So as you guys can see here, my total return is negative $950.12. If we subtract what I've made in covered calls, which again, $596, right now, I'm only $350 before I can break even. So again, guys, this is the nice thing about selling covered calls, and I will often do this if I am holding on to a stock that I no longer want to own. Before I just sell it off at a loss, can I first sell a series of covered calls to at least break even? So to summarize, I no longer want to keep Southwest Airlines as a stock in my portfolio. But until either the share price goes up or I break even from selling covered calls, I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this and at least collect the dividends along the way. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.